12 months later and 5,000 miles done. Is this still the best supermoto? Let's find out. Welcome back to the channel, guys. Yes, we are out and about. We are not in the garage. We are in Birmingham City Centre, the business, the hub, the capital of the Midlands. Look, they even do donuts here as well in the car park. Get in. But anyway, like I said, 5,000 miles later, 12 months review ownership. So let's switch over to the B-roll. Yes guys, so for those of you who are not new to the channel, this is Ducati's Supermoto entry level 698 Super Quadrimono single cylinder 659cc supermoto bike. When Ducati brought it out, it was 10,995 for the base model and I think about 12,000 GBP UK sterling for the RVE edition. When Ducati launched this, they wanted to keep the figures and the stats and everything as close as they could to the competitors, so it was about 150 kilos and about 77 horsepower, so they claimed it was the fastest single cylinder on the market. And you know what, I'm not going to disagree with them, it is rapid. And for those that are viewers, watchers, subscribers of the channel, you guys will all know that this is my second 698 because I actually smashed up my first one. Oh shit. And I liked it so much, I went and bought another one. So let's get on to a bit more information on what this bike has done for me. It is a great bike for commuting, going to work, blasting, whether it's a short trip to town like in the city centre here, or you're actually out on some twisties. Woo, look at this! And a bit of motorway, a bit of freeway riding, the bike is fine. If you've got a 20, 30 minute, 40 minute journey to work and stuff, mate, you're not gonna go wrong with this bike. Super light, super agile, super fun. You get to work, fresh as a daisy, to go and kick some ass. Track days. I have done track days, not on these tyres, but I've done track days on the old bike and on this new one, both at Donington Park, both on a Ducati track day, and it was next level fun.
Come on then, drag race. Oh, got a little bit on me. Let's see if I can outbrake him. Go.
This bike was absolute piss take, giving it to the V2s, the V4s, the Multistradas, the big boys, you know, kicking their ass in the corners, braking late, doing my usual, swearing at them, get out the way. But yeah, mate, so much fun on this bike, man. Stick with the Rosso 4 tyres that I've got on the stock wheels, and the bike just gives you so much feedback and grip, man. Absolutely wicked weapon on track. And the reason why I've got these tyres and these wheels on is because I actually tried to have a crappy attempt at off-roading. Yes, I take these bikes to places where most people will never take their bikes. I mean proper off-road. Dirt, mud, troughs, water.
Ow! Jesus Christ! Jesus Christ!
And to say it was okay. Yeah, I didn't have the correct tyres. I needed some 50-50 knobblies, some proper deep ones, but it did all right. I was surprised myself. I fell off more times than I can remember, but even then the bike was sturdy enough. You know, landing on these, it was fine, man. Nothing never really broke or snapped off. Wouldn't advise it, but you can do it. Yeah, as with all my bikes, I like to test the figures that they say in the brochures. So this bike has been on the dyno. It has been up to BHP on the dyno. It has been there with different exhausts, different airbox combinations in total stock. And yeah, it does actually make the figures stated on the tin. So 77 horsepower, 76 horsepower this made, and the brochure says 77, so they're not lying. The most important thing is I've actually tested this against the competitors. So I have driven the Gas 700.
Right, 3, 2, 1, go. Nice, not bad.
And I have been on the KTM 690 SMC-R.
Right, you ready? 3, 2, 1, go. Woo! That's close, bro. That is close.
Now both those bikes were friends' bikes, so I could actually push it a bit. But what I found was the slight refinement, better parts, say Gucci-ness of everything on this, bit more up to date, better electronics, better traction, wheelie control, better, better components, better brakes, everything's been a bit updated. You can feel that in the ride when you compare it with the other two. The Gas, and obviously the 690 are almost similar bikes made by the same company, but they're more old school raw. If you like your less driver aids and a more feedback and feeling to the bikes telling you what it can and can't do, like from traction to tires to suspension to feeling in the steering, then yeah, those bikes are great. But if you're like a newbie and you just want to get into the world of supermoto, but you want a bit of safety so you don't get thrown off and high-sided into middle of nowhere in a ditch, then yeah, you can't go wrong with all the rider aids on this. But more recently, because it's in this format, I have actually been touring. I have done a 3,000 mile round trip to Germany, to the Nürburgring. I took this, I put some luggage on my rucksack.
And we are here, out here in Europe, enjoying life, giving the two fingers to everyone that goes past on the other side. Woohoo, and the wheeling. So this section is the Nürburgring, which is this section, yeah, the Nürburgring, which is have their own GP track. Hey, Hypermotard! Hypermotard! Are they subscribers? I don't know, man, but that's like, fucking hell, where'd they come from?
I couldn't really find any luggage that actually got over this exhaust, because this exhaust gets hot. And as you can see, my straps have melted on the exhaust. So it can tour really well, whether you're sitting on the motorways for long journeys, whether you're switching through the canyons and the twisties over in Germany down the Black Forest and stuff. It can do it. It can certainly do it. Yes, you probably might need some padded shorts or some bit of extra comfort around your arse and stuff. So it works. It can still do it, mate. So yeah, my little one bike option has been able to do everything that I've thrown at it so far. And it hasn't actually let me down once. So fucking hats off to it. And being the bikers that we are, we can't help but tinker on these bikes, do some upgrades, do some modifications, personalise the bikes to our taste. So there's obviously, you can tell I've done a fair bit to this as well, so we'll just quickly go over most of the key stuff. Exhaust, Austin Racing end cans. I've got the baffle in, great exhaust, sound great. There's a airbox delete lid and a sprint filter in there, which gives you that extra bit of sound and gives you an extra bit of pull, which is great. You've obviously got the wrap around the bike. This is a custom wrap, obviously by Dash Wraps, only the best. And then obviously you've got, on mine I've got this custom seat from Volcano Industries. Had it custom made, looks great, suits the bike. And obviously you got this, the clear clutch cover. So this was supplied by Ducati Special Parts, courtesy of Manny from Motor Million. And you got one of the nicest chain setups, which is the sprocket and chain, which is from AEM. This is obviously super light. I'm running a 43 tooth rear, stock is 42. And I've just got a nice black Tsubaki chain on that just to complement the look. And in true supermoto vibes, I've obviously gone the spoke wheels. So this was a custom setup that I had done. So I've got some scrambler hubs and I found a company in the Midlands to build the wheels exactly to the spec I want. And it just suits this bike perfectly. One of the simplest and best mods is definitely this. Apple CarPlay, LCD, sat-nav, music, everything that you want from AUC. It's cost a couple of $100 tops and it saves my $1,000 phone. So stupid not to. Being a new bike, there isn't really much any tuning available, but you can get a little fuel dongle. So I've got a fuel dongle from ShiftTech, and it does help with the RPMs in the lower RPMs, so under say 3,000 to 4,000 RPMs when you're tooting along. That jerkiness, Euro 5 feeling, so it helps out there definitely. I love these little stealth mirrors, obviously from Stealth Mirrors. They're absolutely great. And obviously I've got this little guard, chain guard from Stealth Mirrors as well. You see the little logo, but yeah, these tiny little things that help. I've obviously gone with the stupid loop delete because I hate that stupid loop. And in associated with that loop, I've actually gone and got the Brembo Stylemas. These look much better, lighter than the M34s or the M32s that come stock on the bike. Nothing wrong with the power of the brakes, I just preferred everything to be a bit more Gucci. Service and maintenance. Well, service from Ducati, the first service, which you have to get done, which is basically just an oil drop, and then they plug in the computer and reset your dash because there's a little triangle symbol. Plus it has some software updates from the factory. That was about £250, so that is essential that everyone gets that done. You obviously need that to maintain your Ducati warranty. Subsequently, I've done oil changes myself. It is fairly easy on this bike to do. The oil filter is underneath there, and I've done a couple of videos on doing that. So because I do track days, I tend to change the oil and everything myself every 6 months. I think it costs about 70 quid for the filter and the oil. Doesn't use a lot, I think 2.3 litres, so that's something to bear in mind, guys. Start doing some of that work yourself, it's really easy. I've also had some fault codes with the bike due to some testing that I've done with components and parts. Obviously running out of fuel caused a fault, the 14-till sprocket caused a fault, so you can get one of these Euro 5 OBD readers which plugs underneath there, and that will help you clear the faults as well, so that's quite easy to do at home, bit of maintenance. And with the bike being a naked and everything being easy and visible to get to, changing brake pads I can do, changing the sprockets I can do, changing the rear sprocket is easy enough to do, changing the exhaust is easy, getting underneath the seats for the air filter is fine, getting to all the components, changing the mirrors is fine. The clutch cover, I did that myself. I'm shit at doing stuff, but I was able to do that. So it's so easy to work on. Swapping the wheels over, just get a pair of bobbins. You need a decent paddock slang for the front to lift it up, but yeah, really easy to do. And being a bike, so you mean everyone around the world has only been out for 12 months. There have been some new bike issues. I suppose the main one has been this exhaust going glowing red hot, but everyone knows that's Euro 5 is an emission, so there's nothing, you can't really do much about that. You've got the bungs on the back seat that come flying off, so the seat wobbles. I'm using some KTM ones under there, so that's a little bit of cheating. There's some clips and stuff that come off behind there, so mine's come off, so I've zip tied it, because otherwise it starts wobbling around everywhere. There's a few other ones, and obviously just keep an eye on your bolts and stuff, because being a bit of a high revving engine, you do lose, so I've lost a couple of bolts from the sprocket cover. They come off, I've just got some more. So just keep an eye on basic little things like that, being a new bike. So when it comes to costs and purchases and deals for this bike, the standard model costs $10,995, and I put £895 of extras on, which was heated grips, lowered seat, belly pan, and then the quick shifter on the other side. I decided to do it through a finance option where I put £2,500 as a deposit, and then I pay £112 or £115 a month on this for 3 years, and at the end of 3 years I can just give the bike back or keep it or buy it or etc. So that sort of suited me at the time, and it gives me flexibility because I had the 950 as well at the same time. Insurance is about £500 a year for me, and I'm a 47-year-old old man with a few claims and accidents and dodgy points. So that's quite reasonable for me. I thought that's all right for where I live. And then all the upgrades, everything that I've sort of gone through on the bike, bits and bobs and extras, comes to a grand total of about £4,000. So Ducatis ain't cheap, mate. Get those funds out, mate. Get those 401s and those kids' ISAs and those shares, mate. You're going to need it to buy one of these fuckers. Number one for me is definitely how much fun this thing is. I mean, it is stupid easy to just jump on, have a laugh, and just fuck about. Take some liberties, take the piss. It is super agile, super light. You can flick it around in the corners. Yeah, everyone says it hasn't got the power and the grunt, but you don't need that, or you don't notice it, because when you're just ripping around having fun, second, third, fourth, up and down the gears, on the twisties, on the canyons, oh man, this bike is next level. It just puts a massive smile to your face, and you're giggling like no one's business. Trust me, get on this bike, man, and you just love it straight away. The second thing is, this probably might be more to the later generation, or the later generation of people that own bikes. I just like it's got trick premium parts, it's got really good electronics, obviously they've been updated. Quick shifter blipper is absolutely sublime. You can make a few little tweaks to the sprockets and you don't get an error, but obviously so much stuff. You can put an exhaust on and it's still, even after the dyno runs that I've done, it's still, the ECU still sorts itself out. Not brilliantly, but it's still okay. So I think the newer engines and new electronics, they work a lot better on these new bikes. And not indirectly, because this is such a new bike, it's only been around for a year, the prices are holding well, used prices, because there weren't that many came out. I mean, the UK didn't get that many. Italy seemed to stole everyone's bikes, and they all got shipped to Italy first. But us lot in the UK had to wait ages. There's still a massive order or a waiting list. So I haven't seen many of these out and about on the roads. There's been a few meets that I've met a few guys, but we've organised to meet up. But because there isn't so many of them about, the used prices are holding well. So that's a bit of a bonus. Another thing is, because I'm sort of new to this whole supermoto, I've never had a supermoto before, it's my first ever one. You know, the whole front end travel on this bike, the feeling that it gives you, once you've got it set up right, as in like you've got the right tyre pressures, you've got your forks all adjusted properly, you've got the settings on the compression, the rebound, you've got your rear done, you've got all your sag and everything set up, the feeling and grip and confidence you get on the front, I'm not saying it makes you a better rider, but you sort of think, well, fucking hell, I can take that corner at that, or you can either, I can lean, I can get my knee out, or I can do supermoto, drag my foot across. So whatever your style is, encourages you to push. Obviously, don't crash like I did, I was being stupid then, but you know, within your limits. So if you're an excellent rider, you can make the use out of it. If you're a beginner or novice, you can get the most out of it. So that's good as well. And one of my favorite things is just Ducati. Ducati as a company, as a brand, the dealerships, the community, the forums, the support. I mean, obviously there is not a snobbery, not an arrogance, but you know, if you own and drive a Ducati, you're a Ducatista, aren't you? So you get looked after a lot. You go into the dealerships, everyone's really friendly, everyone's really, shout out to Ducati Worcester, Pam and Dorian. Them guys are brilliant. JHP at Coventry, absolutely amazing guys. So once they know, they look after you, you buy a Ducati, you're gonna end up buying more. So it also comes across on all the forums and stuff. You got any help, any questions, any problems, Facebook, Instagram, websites, everyone is proper helping out, mate. So that is great, I love that. It is an expensive bastard, this is. I mean, 11 grand for the base model, 12 grand for the RVE. Then you can put another 2 grand the Termi exhaust on it. You're almost looking 14, 15 grand, man. You know what I mean? And that's like street triple prices or MT09 or even MT10 prices. Everything or most of the stuff, extras, parts and stuff are expensive. I mean, I've gone with this exhaust and this is still £800-900 for these end cans. The full Termi system is 2 grand. SC projects are £900. The clutch cover is almost £900. The Brembo brakes I managed to source myself. And another thing that knocks onto the thing that I don't like is because it is a new bike, parts are slow to market. You've got to wait so long for someone to do something, or or someone like Stealth Mirrors then has to go and design something themselves, or entrepreneurs out there are taking things into their own hands. So there is a delay and a slowness to bring parts to the market. Another thing is, it's a tour bike, guys. It's a proper tour bike. I'm 5'7", I've got my little boots on, and I'm still like at traffic lights, tiptoes or 1/2 arse, foot on the floor, even with a lowered seat. There are people that have the lowered option, but they're not 100% convinced, or it works for someone, it doesn't work for others in terms of the feeling. You won't get a fuel gauge on that bloody LCD matrix. And the fuel range, I think it costs between 10 and 15 pounds for me to fill it up. The light comes on at about 70 to 80 miles for me, and you probably get about another 20 miles with the light on. So the fuel is okay, but it's not the best, the fuel range on this. But obviously it depends on your riding style. Another bugbear is, or things I don't like, is there is no ECU flash for this. No one is doing any work on the ECU on this bike because there is no market for it. They haven't sold that many of these bikes worldwide, so people aren't really moaning or saying that it needs a flash. And if a flash does come, you know, how much extra are you going to get out of that 77, maybe 84, 85. The Termi one say they offers 84, but I wouldn't trust that Termi shit, even with the up map. You know me, up map, I don't like them, they're crap. So yeah, we're all waiting for ages for ECU flash and probably gonna have to wait another year. And the last one is just be ready, guys. This obviously being a new bike, there are new bike teething issues. It's all documented on the forums and stuff. So I've gone through some of them that had some issues with on this. Obviously the glowing exhaust, the bungs coming off. There is some people have had some, I think, clutch problems or fuel problems. Just keep getting back to the dealers, keep getting it checked under warranty, and you know, do your best to make sure people know about these issues. So that's hopefully a quick brief blast, 12 months true ownership review, my feelings about the bike. But before we do go away, I just want to say a quick thanks to the people that have been helped out and just, you know, worked and helped with it on the channel. So that's Manny from Motor Million. There you go, get over to him. All the best. Shift Tech for a lot of the parts he supplied on this bike. Top bloke. The UK company, Austin Racing, that do the cracking exhaust for these bike. You got BHP UK that did all the dyno work on this, and hopefully coming together with all the flash work. You got the Usi, if I ever say that right, for the sat nav system. Stealth Mirrors, keep up the good work, mate. You're doing some wicked work. MNNTBX. So he's got these lovely brackets from them. Mate, they're wicked. They're much better than the silver ones. Can't forget dash wraps. Dash wraps, I've done the sick killer job on the bike with the whole wrap. Get over to them if you want your 698 or any other bike custom made or custom set up. Shout out to AEM for the sprockets. They get these over to me pretty sharpish, pretty quick. If I have any issues or anything, they send them out to me. They're really hot on it. The dealers that I've been working with on this, which is Ducati Worcester, Dorian and Pam, and obviously JHP from Coventry. So yeah, guys, tell me what you think. Tell me whether my likes and dislikes and all the comments agree with what you've and your ownership on the bike. 12 months, I've got another 24 months to go until I've got to keep this bike, and then I'm going to decide at the end whether I keep it, sell it, hand it back. But that's 12 months has gone, man, and it's been an absolute blast. So yeah, do all the usual, like, comment, subscribe, keep it sweet, keep it real. Thanks for supporting the channel, and catch you in the next one.